My name is SarthakDasgupta. I'm coming from Bombay. I have a film called Music Teacher here, which is a new premiere. The film is about a small town music teacher who had a lot of ambitions but could not fulfill them. He has stayed back in the small town as a music teacher, but one of his students who was gifted has today become a celebrity singer of the country, and they have been estranged for 8 years and not been in touch. So he's dealing with a lot of past and pain and a lot of emotions, and the story begins when she's back in that town for a big concert. So his reconciliation with his past and his pain and his ambition is the film about me. I wrote this about 16-17 years back, and that was when I quit my corporate job. So I'm basically an engineer, MBA turned filmmaker, and I quit everything because I wanted to make films, and I did not have any material to kind of move on that path. So I had to write something to because and I also tried to assist people, but my credentials were not right for an assistant job. So I did. This came from a seed. The seed came from a song, a Bengali song, and in that song, the song is about a woman talking about a particular man whom she has been watching for a very long time, since her childhood, and she has never been able to go and up to him and tell him that she likes him or loves him. And she has become old, and the man has also become old, and of course he's with someone else, and she still yearns for that man. So there was this little story in that particular song, in that poem, which also became a song. So I basically wanted to empower, I just reverse the patriarchy and empower a woman to say no, and give the same thing to a man to yearn for a woman, and how would he feel. So that was the seed where I started to tell this particular story. But then I also wanted to kind of build in a lot of childhood memories of my my grandfather's place, which is Jalpaiguri, which finally I had to shift the whole film from West Bengal to Himachal for various reasons. But so the whole idea came from there, that kind of hold childhood memories and put them into this particular story and make something complete. I would definitely say there is this character who is a neighbor's character, which has been played by Divya Datta, and Manav has played the music teacher. So as the film progresses, you also see that whatever is there for him in the present, he kind of disregards it, and he's constantly looking back, and in the process there is also a chance of losing what is there. That's always happens to us. We kind of not live in the now. So every time we had these scenes between Manav and Divya Datta, and the kind of layers they could bring, and we all three of us could discuss and bring, was probably not even there in the script. And every time I watch the film, and especially their scenes, I am very happy. I feel happy, and I feel that I've achieved something. So this whole thing kind of started with my winning the Sundance Global Filmmaker Award on the script of this particular film. It went to the Sundance Script Lab after that. So post that, as I kept on making newer drafts of this particular script, I started kind of looking at options of casting and production and budgets and producers, etc. And that itself took a lot of time. I don't know why, but it did. It was almost 4 or 5 years that it almost happened and it didn't happen. So that was a huge struggle period that I went through. Once Saregama got into the picture, they produced the film. It was kind of a nice ride. Of course, every film has its own battles that you have to choose and pick and choose and fight and leave some. That's a story with any film. I also had my own. But at the end of the day, the film is good. Everyone is liking it. I am liking it myself. So that's more important than anything else. That I have learned a few things doing this, and I have kind of grown as a filmmaker, as a storyteller. Yeah, I'm as new as they get. I am not a veteran. I'm also learning. There are new people I meet. I find them extremely talented. I find them extremely motivated and aware, and far more prepared than I was in their age. So I feel I do not have any particular thing to tell them, but the point is what I see lacking in people who are coming new is this sense of this doggedness, the grit. It needs a lot of grit to kind of see it through till the end. What happens is the systems, even I mean it might change, and I hope it will change, and I can see it changing. But till that happens, it is going to be tough for people to kind of break into this very well-oiled machinery and have your own voice, get it funded, get actors to wanting to work with you. So it's always a struggle. So the only thing that takes you through is grit, nothing else. Independent cinema and mainstream is kind of getting bridged as we talk, and with the advent of a lot of digital platforms coming in, it's getting much better for people like us to kind of go and tell our stories and not worry too much about box office numbers and dumbing things down and all that happens in a bigger format thing. So times are good, I would say. My film, for example, has been picked up by Netflix as an original in the 2019 slate. So people like me who are there, who are making different kind of films, are happy. For me, it's storytelling. So I would not approach anything as mainstream or not. Neither did I approach this as independent. I mean, for me, this is all that I know, or this is what I can do with the story. Of course, if I am given a particular script which is mainstream and stars attached, and if I do not like, or if I think that I cannot bring in anything new or different, then probably I would give it a pass. But for me, it's not mainstream or independent. It's a film. It's a story. I have to tell it to the best of my ability and reach your heart.